I call the Honourable Maurice Williamson.
Mr Speaker, thank you very much, and what a great delight it is to speak at this time in the afternoon when my adorable drive time audience in Auckland will be getting into their cars, adoring actually, not adorable, they are adorable as well, and I thought I might try and take these speaking opportunities to do a bit of a traffic forecast. But sir, I'm going to be quite brief on this because I think the specifics of the bill have been covered, but I want to bring it down to what I think is a really good thing to do, and that's a little sort of analogy that your general public can understand. Sir, when an accident occurs, it has both a time frame for the injury and so on to have a cost to it, and a magnitude, sort of an x-axis and a y-axis. And now, the accident can be quite small. You could hurt a finger, go to the doctor, 2 weeks later it's all gone and the cost was a couple of $20–30 and it lasted a week. Or the accident could be quite horrific, and the costs go on for year after year after year. In fact, in many cases, some of the big costs might be in 15 and 20 years after the actual accident has occurred. So what the government has said is we've got to try and find a way of setting levies that when an accident does occur, be it small, medium or big now, we have got funding to cover the costs to fully fund the cost of all of that treatment and revenue and so on for those years out. And if I asked an ordinary family, how would you cope if you had to put some money into an account, a dedicated account for your children's education? You've got 4 or 5 kids, you've got to put money in. Suddenly a big hit comes because the daughter's off to play netball in England and you didn't budget for it. Well, in the case of the ACC, they can't just go and raid another account like the health account or whatever. The family would be stuck and couldn't do it. So ACC's got to try and almost have the wisdom of Solomon to work out what do they predict will be the levels of accidents, what do they believe the severity of them will be, what do they think the long time period for the costs of each individual accident will be, and then add them up with this ginormous sort of estimate spreadsheet and say, here's where we'll set the levies this year to try and fund the cost of those accidents. It's not fair to ask a future generation to pay for this, and I agree with them. We should be using today's levies, who are being the levy payers who are covered by it, to be funding the cost of those accidents that they have. And so this bill, sir, is to try and get a better regime. It will never be perfect. There'll always be a case where you've either slightly overestimated or underestimated, because it's just like the EQC having to try and estimate the number of earthquakes that are going to happen. They can't do it. There may never be another one, there might be a couple of massive ones, but they've got to try and make some sort of estimated guess on that. And sir, this bill, I think, puts the ACC on a really sound footing, gives the public a really good view about the transparency of the settings, gives some consultation process. I think the Minister is to be absolutely congratulated, and that's my 3 minutes.